Hey there, good morning to you. So today it's about you, and we are talking about you yourself. Do you know who you are? How do you define yourself? How do you define yourself as the Word of God says? Now, I want you to know that as a child of God, there is a way in which God has defined you, and that is the way you should define yourself. You are not supposed to define yourself according to the world and how the world defines you. Now, the world, in quotes, it has a different perspective of who you are. The world defines you in its own way. Now, note that the Word of God comes before us, and this Word of God is so powerful, and it comes to us as early as when we are still in our mother's wombs. In the book of Jeremiah 1:5, he calls us before we are even formed in our mother's wombs. So God formed you before, rather, he called you before he formed you in your mother's womb. And he tells us that he even knew that Jeremiah would become a prophet before he was formed in the mother's womb. Now, God created you and knew you before he put you in your mother's womb. So he knew the purpose for which he created you. He knew who you are. He defined you before he put you in your mother's womb. Now, you are not supposed to define yourself according to the world, according to how people see you, according to how people define you. Now, we read in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 11 to 12. Now we see Prophet Samuel has come to the house of Jesse, and he wants to anoint a prince who is going to become king. God has sent him to that house. But just imagine that handsome men have been arranged before him, tall, handsome, with a good physique, with every characteristic of a king. And now we see that David is not in these people. He has not been brought amongst the men that have been chosen to be anointed for kingship. But now we look at this in 1 Samuel 16:11. Let me read for you. It says, "Then Samuel asked, 'Are these all the sons that you have?' And then Jesse replied, 'There is still the youngest. He's out in the fields watching the father's sheep.'" Wow. So Jesse sent for him. That is in 12. He was ruddy and handsome with pleasant eyes. And the Lord said, "Yes, this is the one. Anoint him." Now, David